Yo, what's up guys? King Goose is back. So today, gonna be a pretty simple video. We're just gonna go over a tier list, just for the game, for the troops. Just make it a little more clear as I know the last video wasn't too good, so we're gonna try and make it a little better this time. And then stay tuned, towards the end there'll be a little few bonus tips that aren't related to the tier list. Alright, so jumping right in, the tier list is gonna be on the screen, should be right about now. And yeah, so this is the tier list I have made, and this is what I would say is the most accurate for the troop strength. Now, this isn't regarding any shiny, like any mutations really. So shiny, cursed, demonic, normal, we're gonna go over all of those. This is just the general base troop. If something is really good in demonic, it's gonna probably be higher, like with the skeleton archers. We'll get into all that. So starting with D tier, Bone Grunt and Soul Collector are going to be in the D tier. I don't see them doing really any good. Bone Grunt levels up really easily, but he's just not all that good. Um, he's just really struggling, pretty weak overall, and yeah, that's okay though. It was a good starting unit. That's kind of all you needed. Soul Collector though, this is a really bad unit. Do not get it. Um, it's just it's a terrible support. If you want to look at the stats here, it is just really, really weak, right? So Soul Harvest is decent, but it's an active skill only. It's passive. It's not even doing enough attack to even matter. And the 3% crit it's too weak. It shouldn't cost 3. It's a really bad legendary. Easily one of the worst units in the game. Barely beats out the starting unit, which is which is insane. And it's kind of close, I'm not gonna lie. It is very, very close between them based on usability. But that's alright. Just definitely avoid it. I think Demonic Soul Collector is like towards the middle. Oh no, I guess it's a little high for me. But it's not worth it at all. Definitely do not waste your precious souls on either of these two units. Don't waste shards leveling them up either. They're not going to get magically better. The passives and actives are what you'd want for support, and they're just not here. It's not good, and the base stats definitely don't follow up. So moving on to C tier, we got Acolyte. I mean, it's another support, extra 20% damage for 5 seconds. It's not worth the 2 space because one archer is doing more than that. Like it would normally if it's buffed, maybe in the future this would be better, but like again for supports you're really looking for a good ability, and this ability seems like it'd be good, but it really just ends up not being like sufficient for any round. Moving on to Tomb Hound, this melee, I mean I use it for a little bit at the very very beginning, and it's not terrible, but you're not using this anywhere further. It's just it's very cheap, all right troop to use at the very very beginning. It's not going past C tier for me. Um, Unusable. I haven't put any shards into most of these troops, and it's below like Necromancer, and that's pretty insane. Um, so yeah, I definitely a decent one to begin with, but don't look for it in the end game. You just won't see it. Grave Warlock is next, ranged. I mean, it's all right. It's the worst range in the game. Um, it's got a good active, but 2 cost, bad starting stats. Like, I mean, again, putting if you put in shards for this, it's still weaker than Skeleton Archer. It's not double the stat Skeleton Archer, making it not sufficient to use. So, you know, it's all right. Definitely if you don't have anything, if you're like working on leveling up your Skeleton Archer, it'll be decent. But yeah, it's just not there. Another troop that's just really not there. But that's okay though, because it's a low level epic. Maybe in the future when I get to max, this might overthrow Archer. We will see. I don't remember the very base stats, but for any normal wave, it's just not really worth it. All right, so then up next we have Deathlock. Very, very high tier up so early. Oh, I'm trying to find it. Let's see. Deathlock is a big scam. I wasted. a whole 2 hours getting him at the start, and he's really really bad. So if you can't tell, supports aren't good really at all. Um, they really really struggle to find any value. So I think they're all in C or D tier. Yeah, now looking at it. So what's wrong with Deathlock? It's the active is pretty good, raising two skeletons. If this did last a few more waves, like 3 waves, this might be one of the best units in the game, just because the skeletons are decent, right? Like just little tankers, extra little damage, but it doesn't do that. And it's only so I only put it this high because of its passive. It's gonna synergize well with another few troops up further, but it's still not that good. So what 15% attack, 20% defense, that's pretty good. But it doesn't even stack. So if you're gonna use this, you can only use one, and that's just not gonna cut it because all the other supports can pretty much replicate that, but better. So just keep that in mind. Deathlock, not that good. Try to avoid it. Um, don't even like waste your time on demonic or anything. Just by the time you're gonna get archers out, they're just gonna go away because you're gonna beat the wave. This is not gonna save you. It's not gonna clutch up at all. Like it might, very low chance that it clutches up a wave, and that's one wave. After that, it's over, right? So definitely avoid. On to Necromancer though. Necromancer is the only support I could ever even slightly vouch for, because it's decent. It's passive, extra 8% attack speed. And that's pretty good. It's all right. But then its active is pretty good. 30% attack speed for 6 seconds. Um, that's really only if you're struggling for damage, and even then, you would just remove a guard and add more DPS. So Necromancer isn't really worth it, and because it won't accomplish the same amount, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Lava Imp I've never used, but looking at stats, I've seen other people use it. Doesn't last long. It's actually pretty high up, considering I don't use shards on it, but it's just not sufficient. Uh, spend like if I didn't put any shards into, actually let's see, we can look at regular skeleton archer. This is worth more than um, lava imp, my best lava imp. So what demonic? Yeah. It or no, regular. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's just better value out there for Lava Imp. That's why it's top of C tier. I can see it going end game maybe. Oh, it's leveled up nice. I can see it going end game, but definitely not something to prioritize. Maybe save that for later. When we'll revisit this when higher waves come out. But yeah. So moving on to B tier, finally, now at this point, all of these units are good. They are viable. C tier, they're not. There's better alternatives. B tier, you're starting to get somewhere. So the very bottom of B tier, pretty controversial, but I have Iron Skeleton. It's decent. It's got a good like the passive is probably its most redeeming quality. The active is all right. Plus 6%, 6 defense, 18% less damage. I mean, there's a better alternative. Probably the worst tanker in the game. But it's not bad though, right? So you can't go wrong with guards. This is just probably the worst one, unfortunately, because it's just in that weird middle spot. It's hard to upgrade. A demonic's not gonna carry you. It's in a weird spot. So keep that in mind. Iron Skeleton though, like it's still usable, just not the best. Moving on, Gargoyle. I mean, you can see demonic. I haven't put anything into it, and it's at my third best, right? In power. Very, very solid early game tank. This alone gets you to like maybe I heard like 250s, 300. So that's something to keep in mind. That demonic or normal gargoyles are what you want. Shiny's not gonna do you much. Like if you're going for value, definitely go normal or demonic, right? No other. That's the only reason why. If demonic wasn't this good, it wouldn't. It'd be lower than Iron Skeleton, absolutely, because its healing isn't that good, but it's got great health to back it up. Unlike Iron Skeleton, you have to level up to get to that, and it's expensive. It costs a lot. I can afford it, but not everyone can, and You're not seeing this in endgame, so it doesn't matter, right? Moving on though, Demon Butcher. This is, I think, the no, okay, yeah, it's right in the center for melee for me. Um, it's it's strong, right? If you get a demonic one, it works until like 350. After that though, it has no future because it's mythic. It's really really hard to upgrade. I don't even have demonic. I haven't wasted my souls on it. But with talking with the community who has it, they don't. I've never seen anyone anywhere near my waves using a demonic butcher, and they put levels into it too, which is just not worth it. Wasting shards on this, it's not worth it. So up next, surprisingly, is gonna be Demon Lord in the middle of B tier. I wanted to rank him lower, but I ended up buying him. I actually went through and bought everything for normal. We'll finish the index eventually, but Demon Lord has really good abilities, but the stats just do not back it up. Like, that's not good. Only 3.5k attack. You have to get cursed or demonic for this to be worth it, and no one is spending that many souls. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. With Skull King's right there, there's way better alternatives for that price. But it's still good, right? It still has really, really good abilities. So keep that in mind, but don't maybe hold off. This is works well with Deathlock, by the way. So if you're gonna get Demon Lord, place a Deathlock. Um, but yeah, I guess it's technically arranged, which I didn't know that, but yeah, it's just the DPS is not worth it. Definitely not. So keep that in mind before you buy it. Next up, Barbarian. Demonic Barbarian actually, like, I mean, you can see this is insane. It has higher power than Demon Lord and costs one less. Um, so Barbarian in general is pretty rough to use, but Demonic, if used right, can be pretty good. I'm not really a big supporter of melee, but um, this one's pretty good, I will say. If you get Demonic, it will help, but I mean, it's not gonna like carry you insanely. You're gonna get caught around 400, wait 400, and that's it, right? Then now you get to invest in something else, and you have to use shards for him to be good. Um, so definitely keep that in mind. On to Hellfire Warlock. This is a pretty good one, actually. I always say this is the second best DPSer, which I actually proved myself to be wrong, which we'll get over here soon. This is the third best DPSer, in my opinion. Like that active is really, really good. This is one of the best actives in the game because if it's over leveled, it'll just one shot a wave, which that's really good. You're letting your tanks heal, um, preserve your front lines and keep the back line safe. It's really good, but I think it's the active is just doesn't charge fast enough for it to overtake the next two DPSers. So it's gonna stay that top of like towards the top of B tier. It's solid, but I mean you really have to invest into it. And like I'm really about saving shards, by the way. Um, that's kind of how that's why I'm against certain units when they take a lot of shards to be good. Because we never know if there's gonna be an OP unit later to use shards on. So definitely hold on to your shards. Don't waste it on something like a warlock. I don't see it worth it. Coming into the top of B tier, we have the Imp Bomber, and I was super surprised because it's a melee, and I don't like melees. But this is insane. I haven't put any shards into it, and it was holding its own on wave 500 plus. Now, granted, I have a really, really good front line, which you can see, but it doesn't outperform skeleton archers in any by any means, but it's pretty good. It's up there, you know. Um, it has good damage. It's cheap. It's got good active and passive. Um, so yeah, it explodes on death, which at least gives you something for it dying. It's not like, oh, it died for nothing, which is really good. Something you want to see. Um, yeah, so definitely pretty good, and its cluster bomb is really really solid. Just it's an investment, absolutely. I can see this overtaking Skeleton Archer later on at max level, maybe like in super intricate, nuanced like I don't know, nuance was not the right word, but intricate layouts later on, like end game, like wave 1,000, right? So this may be something to hold on to, keep buying. This is a good one to invest in. Moving on to the bottom of A tier, we've got the Mighty Orc. I mean, come on. This is like the most accessible, well, not the most accessible, but a really, really accessible tank. You don't have to spend, you're not spending 10 hours to grind for it, and it really holds up. I've seen people take Mighty Orc to 400 plus. And granted, you are using shards, but for if you get a demonic Mighty Orc, it's worth it, right? Like that's something it's worth putting your shards into. So keep that in mind. Mighty Orc is really good, best mythic in the game, like I said last time. Uh, it is second best tanker because Skull King exists, which we're gonna get into right now. So Skull King, it's worth the 200,000 to get a normal one. It's worth the 3 million, which is what I'm saving up for right now to get a demonic one. It's just worth it, okay? Buy Skull King when you can. I don't use him anymore. He's outdated, but he lasted me until 425. I was like you saw last time, um, I had the one which 8 damage and kept healing. Best healing. This will carry you the furthest in the game. And this is just a normal one. Demonic. I have a friend who has a cursed one, getting him to 500. Right, like that's insane. Demonic is probably gonna get you closer to 600 maybe. And if you invest shards, which I feel like I'm getting more of now, it's easily the best unit in the game. Demonic Skull King leveled up. So I wanted to put it in S tier, but it doesn't have any long term currently as a normal, and it's not accessible. It is so expensive. People are always asking in chat, should I save? And it's really hard to say yes, but it's also really worth it for them. So that's why it's not S tier exactly, but it is still the best secret by far. Honestly, the best investment I made early game. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Moving on to the bottom of S tier. Honestly, well, I think these two are pretty equal for an S tier, but Bone Guard is just a little worse in my opinion. It is a great guard, 8% damage taken reduction, 8% per, and this stacks. So that's why I have so many in the front. They just don't die, right? This is wave 526, right? I don't know, I'm lagging so bad, but they just don't die. Look, they're taking what 10,000 damage when Skull King would have already been dead. I'm being totally honest. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind that any Bone Guard that you level up is going to be really good because the damage reduction is so high. This is acting like it maybe has 3 times its actual health, right? And it's at 40,000 right now, so that's insane. So it's acting like it's a 120,000 health unit, which is insane by any wave currently. Like that is really really good. Invest in Bone Guards. You can see I haven't put any shards in this one, and it's my sixth best. It's catching up to Demon Lord right now without any shards. Like it's a normal one. So this is a very accessible, very very strong. I highly suggest you you work on this. Get Bone Guard. I think Curse is the best variant because it's just so easy to find. It's got a future. Like it's stronger than Bone Guard at regular Bone Guard at half the level, and it's not totally impossible to find. So it has a good future. I can see myself using this until it's max level. Moving on, I've been saying this whole time, Demonic Skeleton Archer. Like I said last video, this is insane. 4,000 damage, 4,000 attack. Well, that's the same thing. 4,000 HP. That's insane for one cost, right? It's super accessible. I mean, look. I have how many shards? I've got almost 1,000 shards. Not really putting it into him right now, but he's just gonna last forever, right? Like he's only level 23. If max is 100, I have a long future with demonic skeleton archer. So it is the backbone of all of my layouts. It's the only reason why I'm progressing as fast as I can. Bone Guard would eventually die if there wasn't this DPS holding the line, right? Like of course if they just keep taking damage, it's just gonna be over for them. But Skeleton Archer just killing things so quick, it's not even funny. Like that's a very tanky troop. That thing had like 50,000 health, and it was gone in a second, right? So that's the power of this DPS. It's so strong, the flanks aren't even allowed to hit it. Um, like they're not. These guys aren't taking damage, not because there's a tank there. It's because they're so good at killing things. They're just not going to take damage. So really, really good. So that's going to do it for the tier list. You feel free to disagree in the comments. That's fine. We can talk about it. But um, yeah, definitely something I'm pretty set on for now as a 500. I think well, my max is 547, 548. As a 548 player, um, this is my tier list. It's free to play, by the way. A friend actually gifted me Auto Roll, which is very nice. Get this if you can. Um, but yeah, without spending money, these are the really good troops, right? Because of course, if you just spend like $1,000 and put it into Skull King or Demon Lord, it's gonna be good. But free to play, um, I've been playing less than 4 days still, and this is how far I've gotten, right? It's pretty good. So definitely take this tier list into account when you're looking at what troops to upgrade and buy. I'd say this is pretty good, right? Like, yeah, I'd say this is a good tier list. So bonus tips, as I mentioned at the beginning, I was going to have my waves going on in the background so you can see, but if you notice, my max wave is going to differ from my average wave. That's because the stronger you get, there's more RNG involved that actually affect waves by a lot. There's a huge percent error in your average. Um, so this is a good thing though. So what this means is whatever layout you have, test it a multiple times. I test probably 20 waves before I consider making changes. This shows me where my weaknesses are, and also accounts for any bad RNG or good RNG. So if I beat past a checkpoint, like the whole goal is to pass checkpoints, right? So if you can barely pass a checkpoint, but earlier your average was like 547, it's just because of RNG. Like you want to test these things before testing one, saying, "Oh, this isn't working," and just giving up, right? So give at any time you're looking at your lineups and trying to do research on it, like test it a few times. I recommend at least 10. Put it on a spreadsheet, write it down, look at your averages. That's how I'm doing most of my testing, and it's proven to be really beneficial. So definitely keep that stuff in mind. Um, and then yeah, I'd say final tip is for the skill tree. So I'm at the point where I've gotten almost every upgrade that really matters. Like I don't care about luck, um, but prioritize population. I just got 50 population. That is insane. Um, it's carrying me past. I'm looking to go to 600 tonight. So population's really important. Throne power is really good for money. Get your money upgrades, get your soul upgrades, and then work on your units. You'll be so much happier, I promise. Your own personal health, I feel like, can wait. I think that's one of the only things. And this upgrade, the castle buff, is kind of weak and very expensive. So hold off on that, I'd say. Um, yeah, definitely. If you're going for like a player build, I'd say hold off because the only good weapons really are Infernal Great Axe or Obsidian Executioner value-wise. So that's expensive. I 10 billion coins and then I think that's 500 million. That stuff's expensive. So if you invest too much into yourself and not your troops and you don't even have a good weapon, maybe you should change up your strategy. Like your units are gonna carry you the farthest. My damage doesn't even matter anymore besides fighting a final boss. So definitely keep that in mind. And then one more final little pro tip. I can't show you right now because it's going to take too long, but look at what type of boss you have. If there is a giant guy with a giant sword, that guy is a tanker, right? There is melee, there is guard, support, and range. There's a boss for each subclass. The easiest bosses to beat are the tankers, right? So if you if you think, oh, I'm not gonna kill this guy because there's just a whole boss left, you can probably kill it if it's a tanker. If it's support, give up. They heal too much if you're not doing enough damage. still definitely try, but there's like little things like that. Just try to pay attention for. Um, Really, just like my final little pro advice. Also, I'm starting to see finally a few more good guides. I can't remember the channel's name, but there was another guy doing like a beginner 0 to 300 guide, which was actually pretty good. Um, I'm gonna focus more on like further, more pro advancements. So maybe if I need to make like a very beginner guide, we'll do that. But yeah, other than that, that should be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Share with people to spread the information. I think it's only fair that if you get the information, you should probably share with others too. Um, if the channel keeps doing good, I'll make more videos, try to make them higher quality like this one I'm doing my best on. And yeah, with that, I hope you all have a good day. See you later.